Hey, what's up, everybody? So, today I'm going to talk to you about the 10 best things, technically 9, I'm kind of cheating on one of these, things that I love about scale RC, trail rigs, building, and running, just kind of in general about the hobby of trail scale RCing. So, this is a list I've kind of wanted to put together for a long time, and it's not really so much for people who are into the hobby, it's almost more as kind of a pitch. So if you're into the hobby, maybe share this video with someone who you're trying to talk into it, and maybe you can kind of coax them to make that purchase on an Axial or something like that, maybe a Viterra, so that they can get out there and, understand just how much of an insane, super fun blast, crazy fun time thing that you've been having with you and your buddies and everyone. So number one, this is the biggest thing everyone always says. It's exercise. It's great to get outside and experience the great outdoors. That one is pretty easy, understandable. It's not hard at all to go out and walk 2 or 3 miles doing this without even trying. And a lot of times you may be walking technically further than the trail actually was by kind of going back and forth and trying things over and over and stuff like that. Mainly, it's not intense exercise, but it's just fun to get outside more than anything and have an excuse to go hiking. Number two, it's kind of an adventure on a small scale. And because of that, it's kid friendly and kind of makes for a good family activity. For me personally, my dad has been going with me, and uh, I was never really into hunting and things like that, but my brother was growing up, so this has been kind of a fun thing for me and my dad to finally have something that we can kind of get out and do together. We don't have time to fish as much anymore, so it's been really cool. It makes you see a lot of footage of people going trailing and maybe having their 7 to 12-year-old kids with them, things like that. It's just a really good, safe, kind of easygoing thing. The only thing I would say safety wise is maybe remember to wear boots when you're getting into the hotter weather, because if you're in creek beds and stuff, you're likely to come across some snakes here and there. Number three, durability. These things, unless you're one of the people who's pushing like crazy brushless power and stuff, I'm still running a 27 turn axial, the one that came with mine after almost 2 years, I think. Never burned it up. I've never had to fix anything on it. The only time, that's a lie. The only time that I had to fix something was that I kind of made a stupid mistake and mine fell extremely far. I can't believe it didn't just destroy the body and bend the chassis. Mine fell a good 20 or 30 feet, and the only thing it did was broke the one of the front steering knuckles, and I just because went ahead and switched them to metal. But other than that, I've never broke a single thing on this, and I don't even think I've actually hurt the body any. They're very durable. Obviously you're not going 50 miles an hour like some forms of RC, or 60 or even 30 off road. You're going 3 to 7 miles an hour. So as long as you're careful and don't do something stupid like bind things up and then pin it and strip gears out, or rip your steering servos apart by trying to push into a rock that's obviously not going to be pushed by a stock steering servo, then you really probably won't break much on these things. And because of that, you don't have to spend a lot of downtime fixing. It's not like you go out and drive for one evening and then have to spend the rest of the week spending $50 on eBay and every evening kind of trying to figure out what you broke and getting it fixed and things like that. So ease of use and durability is through the roof on these things compared to other forms of RC. Number four, this is kind of like I said, I'm cheating, kind of using 2 and 4 as similar things, but it's fun for all ages. Friend of mine that goes with us, he's let his 3-year-old, or it may even be like 2, kind of play around in the yard with his a little bit. And because of the durability, you don't have to be some RC expert to understand how to drive an RC car that is built to be durable, that only goes 3 to 5 miles an hour or whatever. So the fun for all ages thing is awesome on these. Number 5 is the personalization. You knew that would be in here somewhere. If you're into tinkering or just building like models and things like that, or just kind of customizing and liking to tinker in general, there's just endless stuff for you to do with these. For me, I like the tinkering. I'm not all that crafty, but even with these, I've been able to find ways to kind of make like a fake fuel cell and little fake bedding and things like that for mine. A little tiny crate out of some balsa wood, stuff like that. My dad, on the other hand, is insane with being able to tinker and figure things out, and his Exceed Max Stone that so many people seem to just tear apart as being worthless. He's got well over a year of use in his, and probably, I'm going to say, hours and hours of fun out of just building things for it that cost next to nothing. They're done with scraps. That's the kind of big thing, is on the personalization of these. Most of the stuff you're going to make, my fuel cell is made out of an Altoids container. You can spend gobs of money on this stuff. People have thousands of dollars in rigs on crawler forums and things like that, but it's Matter of fact, this is perfect. I didn't even mean to do this in this order, but that brings me to number 6. It's easy to scale the cost to kind of fit your budget. My dad's Maxstone, I think those are like, what, 150, 160 maybe with a battery. And my Deadbolt, those run between 275 and 300. You can get a Honcho or a Jeep for around 350, 400. And it just keeps going up from there. But it's really easy to just kind of pick your budget and then go. And because the things last so long, yes, $300 seems like a lot for an RC car, but you're talking about $300 that's going to basically work you through a hobby. You need that and, a battery. And that'll get you through the hobby for a long, long, long time. And again, didn't mean to do this, but that leads into number 7, which is battery life. It's insane on these things. You can literally get by on just one battery, and I've done it for over a year now. One 5,000 milliamp LiPo, 2-cell LiPo. And when I go, I don't even bring a charger. I don't bring another battery. I just go, and granted, we plan on being gone for about 2.5 hours. You're talking about 2.5 hours on a rig that I've got that probably weighs 10 or 11 pounds at this point between my tire weights and stuff. And that's one $25 Turnegee battery, not even like a Venom or a Max Amp or something. So super, super low budget on the batteries. That's excellent. And because you're not trying to hurry up and, recharge your battery so you can get back on the track, like in racing and things like that, who cares if you have a trickle charger or whatever? As long as it'll charge the battery, you're fine. You just need to put it on the charger in your garage or whatever when you get home, and you're good to go. Number 8. It's a cheap alternative to one-to-one trailing. And believe it or not, I actually think it is nearly as fun when you kind of figure in the fact that you're not stressing out the entire time about, oops, I screwed up my drive shafts. I'm going to have to spend the entire weekend fixing that. Or, oops, I blew the engine. I'll be out another grand and possibly more. I tore a tire on some rocks. I'm going to be out $400. You just get to go have fun, and worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, you might break $100 worth of stuff. And like I said, I've done this for over a year, and I broke one steering knuckle that was like $14 to replace. So yeah, the cost is, once you have your RC, you've got 90% of the spending done on these things. It's not like other forms of RC where you spend $400 on a Slash, and then $1,000 later you have a crazy good Slash, or a Yeti where you spend $700 on a Yeti XL, and $2,000 later. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers. Stop flaming me down there in the comments. I'm just saying, the price is, again, kind of cheating because I've used this for like 3 different ones, but it's very scalable to kind of what you want to do and what you want to do with the hobby and how far you see yourself getting into this, things like that. Now, number 9, this is really personal to me and some other people, but it's not for everyone. But the number 9, and this is one of the biggest things for me, I love to edit video, and this stuff is so much easier to edit. The scaling and trailing video is so much easier to edit than like fast RC footage. It's super easy. The things are moving so slow, you can get right down there, get really close up. You just mount a GoPro onto your radio, or wear a chest mount or wear a head mount, whatever you want to do, a wrist strap. I bought one of those recently. I'm going to try that next time we go and see how that works. And you're good to go. And then when you get home, you just kind of edit the footage together, slow motion what you want to, and you're good. And you have a decent video that's fun to show off to people and use them kind of like this list to try to get people into the hobby. And number 10, this is where I'm going to really cheat. What's your favorite thing? You pick the number 10. Put it down in the comments. What would be your number 10 if it would be something I've already listed? I know I've covered a lot of the bases here, but I'm sure I'm forgetting something. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you love about RC trailing and scaling, and what keeps you coming back to the hobby. And thanks for watching. As I always say, thumbs up this video if you liked it. Thumbs down it if you didn't. Leave a comment to tell me how I can improve it and keep you coming back for more next time, or at least keep you coming back to thumbs down all my videos. I don't really care. Comment below. I'll respond to just about anything. Favorite this if you want to really help me out. Believe it or not, that makes these videos shoot way up on the YouTube kind of searchability and things like that. I will see you in the next one.